this is the part number for the ignition coil that I'm using, and spark plugs are the SP521X. I don't understand why. I watched a video and people were wrenching off the fuel rail and taking all this other stuff off and all this else just to change the spark plugs. Like, I just pulled that out with zero issues. I did these two. It took me like less than 5 minutes per plug. Like, and you don't have to take anything off. Okay, so the O2 sensor swap to Motorcraft did not make those sensors come online, and then it started running worse, and it gave me a code. I think it was 0303. So that's a misfire in cylinder 3, which means the next likely issue is spark plugs and possibly coils need to be changed. So that was something on my list to do. I was hoping I could put it off for 6 months, but looks like I have to do it now because it's running pretty bad. So I've not done this before on this type of vehicle. I've changed a spark plug. It's not a big deal, but I think that by this year the issue of the spark plugs breaking was not so much an issue anymore. So not that it couldn't happen, but it should be less likely. So I'm going to try to, I just don't know how much of the stuff I have to take apart to get in there. Like, obviously I just took the air filter housing and all that kind of stuff off. But like, once you get in there, you know, especially from the back side, to get access to these plugs, you may have to start unbolting quite a bit of other stuff and kind of pushing it out of the way. And my problem with that is that I kind of forget what I did, you know. So that's the thing that concerns me. But I'm going to do them just one at a time, and just to make sure, and see how it goes. So I'm going to, I really should do cylinder 3 first, because that's the one that's misfiring. If I only get one done, that one could make the van start driving better, but we'll see. So I think I have to get this entire thing out of the way. So I'm gonna try to get underneath here and get this thing undone right there, so this whole contraption will pull out, and then I'll just disconnect this mass airflow sensor connector, and that should give me access to the front 2, maybe the front 4. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm wondering why I'm even doing this. I should be going in the back side first, just so I can try to get those the cylinder 3 one done first. So maybe I'll do that. Okay, so first thing I'm doing is taking off this fuel rail. I'm going to disconnect this so I can get, it's covered up the plugs. So let's see here. I want to get that thing loosened so I can get better access. That's this bolt I took out, and then this back one. It's both sides. Come on, man, get on there. these damn things won't let me get into, even get to the other stuff, but these things I don't think I'm gonna take off. So, all right. And those are 8mm. All right, so this thing's loose, so I can start to get some access. Start taking off some more stuff. Okay, so next thing I'm going to take off is this pipe here. It's going to clip right there, and I'm going to take that off and get that out of the way. And probably I'll clip that zip tie to get better access. And also, before I do that, I think I'm going to have to take off this bolt right here, because this clamp is holding in all these hoses, and this one right here is the one is above this one I'm taking off, and that's kind of in the way of getting to that clamp. And so it also goes, this hose goes to the fuel rail. So I think by having this undone, I can move some of this other stuff out of the way, and it'll allow me to adjust things a little bit better. So, okay, so I was taking out the fuel rails, but then one of the injectors, the second one from the back here, separated at the top instead of the bottom. Yeah, instead of coming out at the bottom, which is normal, but because that whole situation makes me a little bit uncomfortable, that's more than I want to get into today. I put it back together. Now this is still not quite seated properly in there. It's not leaking, but I think I need to pull it back up and try and reseat it properly. I mean, I didn't know if I broke it or what, so that's why I just put that on. But I come to find out these coils are wiggly enough that I should be able to get to them without taking this fuel rail out. So once I disconnect these connectors and undo the bolt, then these things should just pull up slightly. It will hit this rail, but then you can just bend, and the rubber, see where to go. Here's the first one I pulled out. This thing just bends, so it's flexible enough, you know, even though that thing's there, you can turn it and pull it out. What was interesting to me though, when I pulled out this spark plug, which is the one in question on cylinder 3 over here, I mean, it does look terrible. You can't, I don't think you can really see. It's very corroded. Definitely needs replaced, but the thing wasn't even in there tight. Like, I didn't even have to put the socket wrench on. I just had the spark plug socket and then the extension, and I just started turning it by hand, and it didn't give me any resistance at all and just came right out. So that's obviously a problem. That was probably part of the reason why it was giving me some issues. So I don't know what that's all about, but I guess that's better than fighting with it if I'm going to replace them anyway. So hopefully, yeah, now that I'm looking at it, I don't see any reason. Like, I can access all of these. There's one, see, I guess this is the first one here, the second one, third, and then the fourth way up there, which you can get from the front. But these are not, there's nothing that needs to be taken off here. I think I watched a video where somebody took this fuel rail and pulled it up and moved it aside and all that, but you don't need to do that. Like, that's completely a waste of time. Not to mention, you run the risk of breaking something else, like an injector or something. So so I'm over here. I did take this one thing here off. That's the one thing that was in the way over here. But even this one, I think I can get to the first two easily without without taking anything else out. So I'm going to put the new plug in, put this one back together, and then I'm going to start taking some of these other ones out and changing those. And then I'm going to come back over here, and I'm going to pull this back out to try and fix it. It's just where that little orange band is, you know, like the gap above that and that little metal cap is just a little bit higher on the other one. So I don't want to run the risk of that leaking fuel later. So I'm going to try and pull that back up and try and seat it back down in there. I mean, and hopefully it doesn't, hopefully I don't break anything. For a minute there I thought I did. So otherwise this seems like it should go pretty smooth. All right, those two done. Now time for the other side. The push tab is on the top on the passenger side, and it's on the bottom on this side. It's a little bit harder to get to. And this mirror helps out a lot. You see where I'm going. And that is a, what does it say? 7mm to take off these coils. Oh, it's in front. So everything's reversed. So this bolt is in front as well. Gotta break it. Right. And it just pulls right out. And this one doesn't look too bad. So this is the one that I just pulled out. And this is the one that came out of cylinder 3 where the spark plug wasn't even tight. Like I could just take it out by hand. So I didn't even have to break it loose or anything. And you can see the difference. You know, this one's black, spark plug was tight. This one was giving me all kinds of problems. So that explains my that explains the misfire code. That explains why it's been running poorly. It probably explains why I'm only getting like 9 miles per gallon. But yeah, that's strange. These other ones are probably fine, to be honest, but I'm replacing them anyways. They are a wear item from my understanding. You know, probably this is the only one that would really need to be replaced, but you know, $100 each, it's kind of like, you know, I don't know. I guess I'd rather just do them all now and not have to do them again for a while. So now that that's out, I'm going to get some compressed air and blow out that cavity really good, because that thing's out of the way. So all kinds of debris has been coming out of there, out of that hole, and that has to come out of there. If you don't, then you're going to get that stuff's gonna fall in. Probably I already had some stuff fall into where the fuel injectors go, but you know, that one caught me off guard. So I don't understand why. I watched a video and people were wrenching off the fuel rail and taking all this other stuff off and all this else just to change the spark plugs. Like, I just pulled that out with zero issues. I did these two. It took me like less than 5 minutes per plug. Like, and you don't have to take anything off. All I took off was this thing, which connects here, and then back in the back where that little red nozzle is. That comes off in like 30 seconds. But there's absolutely no need to take any of this other garbage off. All you're going to do is create more problems like I did, where now I have to go in there and I have to take this fuel rail off again, those two bolts, pull this up, hope I don't break anything, and then try and seat it down properly, because the second injector here from the back didn't get seated 100% when I put it back on. So yeah, that's just ridiculous. I mean, what are these people doing anyways? Like, this is an easy job if you just leave everything alone. There's plenty of room. Those things go in there no problem. They come out no problem. They go in no problem. You don't have to disconnect fuel rails and vacuum lines and all this other garbage. I don't understand what these guys are doing. So let me get some compressed air and get this thing taken care of. This one looks terrible too. Not as bad as the other two, but definitely needs to be replaced. Definitely. There's not even a little pin there like there normally is. Dang. With the condition of these plugs, I don't even know how this van was starting or driving. It does make sense now why I'm only getting 9 to 10 miles per gallon. So I should check that gap. I think these are supposed to be gapped at .054. Looks good. As soon as you stick that rubber end down that hole, it just kind of automatically lines up and goes over that plug. There's really nowhere else it can go, so no need to worry about whether you got it on there or not. And that's it. Easy as that. No fuel rail disassembly, no vacuum hose disassembly, none of this garbage. No specialized tools, although these 12-volt ratchets do make things a lot easier. Don't even need those if you don't have them. So the one thing I really do need, you do have to have a compressed air, but I should have bought a wand so I could reach back in there. That would make this a lot easier. Okay, so continuing on with my van maintenance obligations here. Spark plugs have all been done. The van is driving a lot better now. It just, so far, I mean, it seems like it is. I guess I haven't put a ton of miles on it, but that weird hesitation and surging issue was gone. I mean, when you look at the condition of that cylinder 3 spark plug and ignition coil, it's no surprise to me that would be, you know, the issue. Oh, when you look at it, like the normal one compared to this one here, where the spark plug wasn't even tight, like that's a big difference here. Something was going on. So all the cylinders are new. All the ignition coils are new. I'm sure these are probably fine, but you know, whatever. I mean, they're not cheap at $100 each, but you know, I mean, at this point, with this many miles on the van, I may as well do it. But